さ
はい、ベンチャー出番
いや僕思ってたのは一応ここの近くに丸の内警察署があるんですよ。で丸の内警察署がここの管轄だから事件があるんで丸の内警察署行ってね今犯罪者が集まってるけどなんで逮捕しないのかと、いうのはどうかなって思っている。
いいや行こう行こう。録画は誰がやる？録画は。
さきちゃんも映像
ちゃんと撮れるかな。大丈夫。僕じゃなくてね。
2015. We are standing in front of the Japanese Imperial Palace. Nearby at the Nikkei Hall, some war criminals, mass murderers are gathering. The people gathered here include Richard Armitage. Richard Armitage is guilty of the murder of President Ferdinand Marcos of the Philippines and former Prime Minister Noboru Takeshita of Japan. He is a heroin dealer. He ran a whorehouse in Da Nang, Vietnam, and he also betrayed the South Vietnamese government to the North Vietnamese. He is a traitor, he's a war criminal, and he's a heroin dealer, and he is sitting here pontificating as if he can tell Japan what to do. Furthermore, this criminal is about to get an award from the emperor who's kept as a slave in his palace with no real power. The same emperor gave a reward, or his predecessor, the Showa emperor, gave an award to General Curtis LeMay, who was in charge of the firebombing of Tokyo that killed 150,000 people. So you can see that we have a slave regime. The other people who are gathered here now include Michael Green, who's the head of Mossad in Japan. Michael Green forced Japanese politicians to write essays saying the Japanese need to obey the Jews. Furthermore, Michael Green has slandered me, accusing me of being a drug addict who beats women, which is a total lie. I've asked him why he slandered me. He refuses to answer. These people have all been offered a chance to rebut. They have not. The other criminals gathered here is Kurt Campbell, the former person in the United States State Department in charge of Asia. He was recorded on March 10th, 2011, offering rights to clean up radiation in Fukushima, one day before the nuclear accident on 2011, to Japanese politician Ichiro Ozawa. We have asked the U.S. Embassy why these criminals are not arrested. They said it's up to the Japanese police. We're asking the Japanese police, why are these criminals out there free, as if they are some kind of statesman? When they are criminals, they are gangsters, they are murderers, they belong in jail, not on stages pontificating to the people of Japan. The people behind me are members of the Japan Independence Party. They are fighting to make Japan a truly independent country and to end the colonial military rule that has continued here since at least 1945 and probably since 1863. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to introduce Richard Koshimizu, head of the Independence Party of Japan.
My name is Richard Koshimizu. I'm the head of the Japan Independence Party. We are all the time seeking for the peace and freedom of this country. And now we are facing a big problem with this CSIS people. Especially this Richard Armitage is some sort of the chief of the invasion army, who are trying to get rob of our Japanese asset and try to create a war between Japan and China. We don't want to fight. We don't need them. We want to have our own country. That's why we will still keep on trying to get rid of them. We will obtain the true independence of the country.
Yes. I have publicly accused Richard Armitage of ordering the torture and murder of Prime Minister Nobuo Takeshita of Japan in order to seize the computer codes necessary to produce Japanese yen on bank computers. These people still control the ability to produce yen. It does not belong to the Japanese people. It belongs to a crime gang, and they're using it to bribe politicians who go along with them and hire thugs to murder politicians who do not go along with them. I have accused them publicly. I've asked them to rebut. They refuse to answer. That means they are basically passively admitting their guilt. We cannot let this go on. I am here in Japan. That's why I'm talking about these people in Japan. But they have their equivalents in Europe and the United States. We know who they are. It is time to arrest these people and put them in jail where they belong. That means George Bush Jr. That means Tony Blair. That means Nicolas Sarkozy. We all know who these gangsters are. They belong in jail. Enough's enough. Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel is a war criminal, and he is being taken down. We need to free the world from this gangster control of the financial system. Thank you.
We know who did March 11 earthquake. That earthquake was not a natural one. We know it was artificial one. And we know who did 9/11. 9/11 is internal job. And we even know Om Shinrikyo incident was not a religious matter. It was done by CIA.
Om Shinrikyo was the sarin gas attack on the Tokyo subway system, and it was orchestrated by the CIA, or more precisely, the Bush Nazi faction of the CIA, and we know many of the people involved. There's a North Korean gangster by the name of Noda who says he worked for what he calls Jewish Al-Qaeda types who ran this gas attack against the Tokyo subway system. And these same people, as you know, have carried out terrorist attacks like the Madrid train bombing, the July 7th London subway bombing, recently the Friday the 13th Paris massacre. These people are murderers and criminals, and we need to put them in jail.
Okay, anyhow, Benjamin and myself will fight until we get the true freedom. Thank you.
Thank you.